Have you ever felt like sawing your foot off in a desperate situation?
Yeah. Whenever you get pins and needles, man.
Hello, I am Sam.
And I am Ian.
And we welcome you back to the latest episode of One Credit After Another, a show where we dive into the career of a filmmaker or actor and their latest project. Ian, I want to play a game. The game consists of talking about the career of James Wan and the new film he has produced called The Mummy for around 40 to 50 minutes. A film that is out on the 17th of April. Live or die. Make your choice.
Sounds like you're trying to sell me wine in the middle of the Oscars broadcast. Succulent, fruity.
At one point, at one point, it did kind of turn into just a trailer for The Mummy out on the 17th of April.
Soon.
Live or die.
Live or die.
If it wasn't clear what we were talking about, it was in fact James Wan.
James Wan!
Who has produced the latest Mummy reboot that is directed by...
James Wan!
Lee Cronin.
Lee Cronin.
Of Evil Dead fame. Yeah, it's weird to say Evil Dead fame without thinking of Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
But we do have Lee Cronin.
Yep.
That's how I'm saying it. Ian, is James Wan's career path a dying breed? And can you think of a better contributor to horror in the 21st century?
Oh, so two very interesting questions. I reckon let's save the dying breed as the thesis of this episode, shall we? Because actually I think it's got some really interesting elements to it. Better contributor to horror in the of this 21st century. I think he's very much so the ebb and flow of horror and interest in horror. He's very much responsible for the ebb. Let's say the mid 2000s ebb back to interesting horror again.
I feel like he reinvented horror twice with torture porn and then the jump scare.
No, because he didn't do torture porn. So
No?
So Saw 1 isn't really torture porny. It's interesting because it's obviously got the reverse bear trap and stuff like that in it. It's that whole idea of like locking someone in and doing it.
I'd say it's torture porn.
No, Hostel was torture porn, and then Saw was ruined by torture porn because they moved away from the story because they had to become more torture porn, and that's why Saw 4 onwards is shit. Because it's just awful. Like Saw 3D is just terrible. It then just becomes about the traps and all of that stuff. Whereas Saw 1 is actually a story about a guy who has cancer setting people up in traps so that they are more like grateful for their life. Like there's much more plot in Saw 1. I mean, we've done this before. Go back to one of our Such a Ranker episodes and I genuinely spoke for 40 minutes about Saw 3.
Please watch Such a Ranker because apparently the audience figures aren't great.
Ah, well. It's our favourite episode.
Well, in terms of his sort of like how he came to be, would you like to discuss it with career to date?
Yeah, let's go for it.
James Wan was born in Malaysia, later moving to Australia with his family when he was 7. I had no idea he was Australian until this podcast. Which makes sense because Lee Wanell is also Australian.
Yeah.
After attending many schools around Australia, Wan relocated to Melbourne, where he gained a media degree at the Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology, where he met future
weird
collaborator.
place to get a media degree.
Apparently.
Yeah. In a technology school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is there crazy people there in Melbourne? It was here where he met future collaborator Lee Wanell. Is this Lee Wanell or Lee Wanell?
I've always said Wanell.
Wanell.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Wanell.
We'll ask him one day.
Okay. Wan and... Well, it's weird because now I've got to say Wan and Wanell.
Wanell. I mean, you're going to Comic-Con. It wouldn't surprise me if he's there one year.
Oh, he might be after the Wolfman flopped.
Yeah.
Put in the celebrity zoo of the Comic-Con. Wan and Wanell worked on the script that would eventually become Saw, a 2004 horror film that was shot for barely $1 million. The film turned into a huge success with over $100 million at the box office and launched Wan's career in the United States. Wan's career took a downturn with the critical and commercial flops Dead Silence and Death Sentence. Can I just say, those films just sound exactly the same to me.
The same.
Why would you release... It would be like, I don't know, Tarantino releasing Reservoir Dogs and then Reservoir Cats.
And Reservoir Mice.
After the flops of Dead Silence and Death Sentence, Wan embarked on a highly successful resurgence by launching the Insidious and Conjuring horror franchises. Both franchises have collectively made over $3 billion at the box office, turning James Wan into James Win.
Nice. Yes, you're right.
Mastering his craft in horror, Wan has explored other genres with 2 Aquaman films and the 7th Fast and Furious films, proving to be enormous financial successes. Wan has become a prolific producer with over 30 credits to his name. This podcast was named for him.
It really was. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we actually change it to one credit after another?
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wan has largely produced. Since 2018, Wan has largely produced, but has directed the previously mentioned Aquaman 2 and the cult classic and real project favourite Malignant.
Yay.
In 2026 alone, Wan has produced 5 films, with the main point of interest being the money.
Yeah, this guy just makes money, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
James Wynn.
James Wynn.
Winning.
Absolutely.
Right, we now talk about his previous films, mostly looking at the films he has directed, because as we say, he's produced 7,000 films.
Yep.
Should we start with Saw?
Yes.
Which, Ian, you are a big, big fan of.
Saw 1. Yep.
Yes.
Love Saw 1. Based off of a short film. So the first movie that they did together, Lee Winnell and James Wan, they made a short movie, which was Saw, but it's Lee Winnell in the reverse bear trap.
Yes.
So they basically did that. I think it was about 15, 20 minutes, something like that. But it got huge traction, and obviously it was the foundations of that. I think it had a really good online presence. I think it did like a bit of a YouTube thing.
Yeah, so this is kind of where I tie in with the rare breeds. Because
Yeah.
I feel like in 2026, this would all just be like the internet, wouldn't it? In terms of like promoting this kind of film.
Yeah, absolutely.
But back then, they basically got a little bit of money together. I think they were just normal fellas. And they managed to get this short film that gained traction. They made a feature, and it made $100 million.
Yeah, it's a bit like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
That is something really, really similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it basically spawned a whole franchise. You know, as I say, I really like Saw 1 because I think the premise of it and the character, I think is just so interesting. Jigsaw, I thought, was a fantastic...
It's a brilliant concept.
Exactly. I think the biggest way to do it's absolutely out the gates, right? Like in terms of its presence, its impact. Everyone loved it. It hadn't really been seen before.
Well, is Jigsaw the most iconic... Well, Jigsaw / What is his name in the film?
John.
Is it John?
John.
Is it just John?
No, it does have a second name.
Tobin
Bell.
The Tobin Bell Jigsaw character. Is that the most iconic horror character moulded in the 21st century?
Yeah, he's like the equivalent of Candyman, I would probably say, or because he's not really a slasher villain, but he has the same degree to him as, say, like a Jason Voorhees or a, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Is he bordering on an anti-hero?
I think in Saw 1, yes. Right.
Okay.
So Saw 1 I felt was really interesting because there was a morality thing that was part of the story where everyone that he punished had a reason to be punished, but they also had a reason to escape it, right? So there was a degree to that everyone that was put into one of these saw traps, you were like, okay, there was like an empathy thing there where you put yourself in their shoes of just thinking to yourself, well, how would I deal with that? Like, how would I deal with A, being punished in a way that Jigsaw feels I need to be grateful for my life, but at the same time, you're having to do horrendous things in that moment too. So, like, he would go after addicts and he would go after, like, those, different types of people that way. It then got absolutely insane where it was just kind of like, right, okay, later on down the line. But Saw 1, for instance, had, like, this whole element of a guy who gets cancer, who has a horrible experience with it, and then just sees people wasting their life, so goes out to do something around it, right? And then that's where these traps and that come from. It's such an inventive idea, and I think you're right in terms of like the anti-hero establishment. Where I think it personally went wrong is you cannot sustain that like morality with people. You exhaust that quite quickly, and then you have nothing but villains left, right?
Yeah.
And I think James Wan and Lee Winnell knew that going into Saw 3 because they skipped Saw 2. I think Lee Winnell didn't, but I think James Wan skipped Saw 2.
Yeah, Lee Winnell
and then both of them came back for Saw 3, and that's where there was that morality thing because it was a guy who loses his kid in a car accident, and it's all about then the prosecution of that and how he just lost himself to, that tragedy. So there's that element of like kind of morality that kind of runs throughout all of this, which makes then the whole idea of what Jigsaw doing just like weirdly interesting. Like he's almost like trying to get people to be grateful for their lives by putting them in horrendous situations. So it is kind of anti-hero in a way.
Yeah.
But it gained huge traction. You know, like this is, I mean, it spawned a horror franchise that had 7 movies, 2 reboots, and a return.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, in all of those different settings, Saw keeps going.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a fascinating story. Is Dead Silence and Death Sentence a fascinating story?
I think Death Sentence is more interesting than Dead Silence. I think Dead Silence is a little bit. There's not really. It's not. There's nothing really inventive about it. Death Sentence though was interesting. It's like Kevin Bacon in essentially a more violent version of Taken, right? So it's got interesting things about it, but it just didn't do what Taken did. It was actually before Taken. I think Death Sentence was. So I think Taken was 2008,
very nearly.
and I think this was 2007.
2007. That's the thing. Yeah, James Wan he released Dead Sentence and Death Sentence within like a few months of each other.
Insane, right? He must have been filming these things. Either Dead Silence he was filming at the same time, or just off the back of say Saw 1. And then he must have done, because then to land a movie with Kevin Bacon's pretty.
Well, my theory is that one of these films, or if not both, had to be reshot a lot.
Okay.
So they just ended up falling on the same sort of roster.
Well, they're saying that Saw the first features 2004, so they would have been shooting that in 2003. So he would have had a few years in between. He would have been like a jobbing director at that point, right? He just got his own feature under his belt. So it's actually likely back in mid 2000s that he could have landed and started recording, or could have started filming something like Dead Silence in 2005.
Yeah.
Really short production schedule.
I always feel like...
and then he ends up on, say, something like Death Sentence because of the success of Saw.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if, say, almost the Dead Silence was almost like his bridging movie, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. But Saw, the feature for Saw, it always feels weird that it's 2004, because I always thought it was much older than that, and I'm surprised that it came out in 2004. I don't know why.
I mean, it spawned... There's a feeling to a Saw movie. Like there's an editing to a Saw movie. There's a staging of a Saw movie.
Music's banging,
which makes every movie now from that era feel like a 2000s horror movie, right? Because everyone copied it after that point. It's like the erratic nature of everything.
What's your take on the Insidious films?
I have never seen the Insidious films.
I've only seen the first one, and I remember watching it round a friend's house, and there's one particular scene that like haunted me involving a child.
Okay,
that's my main memory of it. Oh, there is also a very famous other jump scare in the film. This is kind of the film that set the tone for 2010's horror for jump scares. I mean, it was kind of going that way anyway with Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
But James Wan really knew how to kind of get the best out of it, I think.
Yeah.
For its both good and bad points.
This is another contribution, got another collaboration with Lee Winnell as well. So they've worked together a lot.
They have. And Insidious is also the beginning of a beautiful collaboration with Patrick Wilson.
Yes. Patrick Wilson.
Which we'll talk about later. The Conjuring films, the most famous horror franchise of the last 15 years, to the point where even the most recent one, which came out only last year, I think, made crazy money.
Yeah.
What is it about these jump scare films that appeals to the masses?
So I find this really interesting. Jump scares are absolutely fascinating in movies because I think they appeal to a casual audience, right? They're horror light.
I hate
in as
them.
much as people can do a jump scare and they can feel like, oh, that's it, and then they move on. Whereas, say, if you then compare it to say, something like Hereditary, where you come away from that and it haunts you for the rest of your days, like they're very different movies, right? Yeah. And I think there's some people that don't like Hereditary but are happy to sit through the adrenaline of, say, like a jump scare. I agree. I think after a while you lose the actual horror of it and you're just waiting for something to make you jump.
But jump scares aren't scary, like in definition. Like if I were to make you jump, you're not scared.
No,
so
it's
speak.
adrenaline.
It's just a reaction.
Yeah, in the same way, like true horror is like a slow build.
It's a slow dread,
and feeling and dread. Whereas it's not really. It's a jump scare is like, oh, someone's closed the door behind me.
It's scary in the sense of like being a child.
Yeah,
like I scared you because I made you jump.
Yeah,
but for me, horror films, it's about that slow building. That's why I love Midsummer, because Midsummer is just this slow, like doom feeling. Yeah. Like that's why The Shining works really well. Yeah. Hereditary is probably the most famous recent example. The Witch.
Yeah.
yeah, it's this sort of like you kind of feel like you know what's going to happen, but the characters don't, and that's where like the suspense comes in.
That kind of defines though a lot of ones like horror franchise. What he built, the Conjuring universe, the James Wan horror franchise. I think that's the thing. Just to kind of jump on it, like, just to jump back to what you were saying, the Conjuring 2013. I think the Conjuring, weirdly, is James Wan's most accomplished horror movie. The Conjuring 1. I think
I can agree with that.
It's a great movie, and everything about it is fantastic.
I'm a big fan of the second one.
I like the second one. I didn't like it as much as the first one.
Yeah.
Because for me, the first one, when you take it away from what we now know as the trope and the jump scare, you know, when Conjuring 1 came out, that wasn't so much at the forefront of everyone's conversations. It was starting to be.
It was in found footage. Kind of found a place for jump scares because you had to be like, obviously, found footage is. It kind of feels like it's a documentary live situation. You have to kind of like build that up, so it doesn't get boring.
Yeah.
So I feel like jump scares kind of came from there, but James Wan, particularly with The Conjuring, is it Conjuring or Conjuring?
I just say Conjuring.
Conjuring, yeah. He kind of, as you say, the first one's kind of the most well-oiled version.
It's
of that.
so it's a really good movie, and I've watched it back, and it still holds up.
Yeah.
Like its pacing, its setting, the way it uses the set as well, and like the atmosphere. He does a really good job at creating it, and the basement scene is fantastic, and like the clap is just such an iconic now piece of horror cinema, particularly of the 2010s. And I think it stands out now as something that you see on a reel. If you're talking about horror movies, that will be on that reel because it's so accomplished.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's achieved the same now in a lot of the stuff that he's working on, no. I think Conjuring 1, like you said, you like the Conjuring 2.
Conjuring 2.
I don't like the ending of Conjuring 2. And that, for me, kind of lets it
I
down
never
a bit.
really like the end of any of these films because they just build up to that big sort of silly. It's when all these films become silly because you have to kind of like
you have to confront the demon.
You have to confront the demon, which is why The Shining's so good because we never really see much of the actual demons because they're like planning, they're scheming. They use Jack Torrance as like a little like plaything. Yeah, just particularly in these days with like CGI. That's the other problem with it. Well, I think we've talked about it before. It just turns into the Conjuring films where...
It too, in particular.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I say, there's accomplished set pieces in The Conjuring where you're like, this guy knows horror. The whole scene with the sheet. The sheet is genius. I remember seeing that in the cinema and just being like, whoa, okay. I thought that was fantastic. As I say, the basement scene I think is really good. I think that is accomplished. I think everything else that he's done after that is a bit derivative. I think the stuff around, I think he's contributed to a lot of now his universe as a producer, much more so than being directly involved in it. And so because of that, it's lost a bit of its way. We will talk about Malignant. Because we have to talk about how the guy still has good ideas, because I still think the top-down scene in Malignant is absolutely incredible.
Well, we'll get to Malignant.
We'll get to that.
Right, moving on to a bit of a different approach for James Wan.
Yeah, a little bit different.
With Fast and Furious 7.
I mean, how do you get hired for Fast and Furious 7?
Why
after
did he...
The Conjuring 2?
Yeah, well, I suppose at this point he had plenty of credibility in Hollywood and just probably thought, let's go down a completely different approach, but in a huge franchise. Because obviously James Wan has experience of running franchises, so I suppose it's seeing how he does in a different light.
Yeah. A lot of people say that this is the best Fast and Furious.
It's not.
Okay.
It is a big shame with Fast and Furious because I do think Fast and Furious 5 and 6 took a lot of balls to just completely go down a different route with it.
Yeah.
And
technically Justin Lin did. So Justin Lin did Tokyo Drift, and then he did Fast and Furious, which I think is Fast and Furious 4.
Okay.
Fast and Furious 4 is when they start going a little bit all over the place. Because I think Fast and Furious 4 is the one where they're doing the drug running across the border.
Yes.
And the end of it is basically them just doing almost like a game of like a drag race almost, trying to get to a game of chicken, just trying to get to like this, basically a tunnel.
Okay.
It goes all over the place, and Justin Lin then is like attributed with Fast and Furious evolving quite a lot because even Tokyo Drift is like all over the place. I still really like the first one. I think the first one is a really interesting movie.
It's fascinating how much has changed since the first one.
Yeah, but no, James Wan one is I think is a really I think it might be the best of the crazy version of it. Because this is the
Yeah.
one with like the
building where they like the car drives from one building into another.
Is it also the one with the submarine?
Oh God, I don't
Is
know.
that the submarine one or is that 8?
Have they been to space yet?
Yeah.
Oh, they have.
Yeah.
Oh, of course they have.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they've been to space. I haven't seen Fast and Furious 10 yet. That's the Jason Momoa one.
I'm okay.
I watched years ago. I think it was during COVID. I watched the Fast and the Furious movies, and they are so much fun. They're annoyingly good fun.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't watch them with like because I remember Furious 7 coming out and everyone was so swept up in it.
Yeah, I mean that was the one where it cleared $1 billion.
Oh well, we'll talk about box office soon.
Yeah.
But speaking of Jason Momoa,
Yeah.
obviously he was the central Aquaman in the film Aquaman, directed by James Wan.
Yeah, and he also has a writing credit on Aquaman too.
My God,
I know.
Is it that bad?
Clearly.
Yeah.
DC at that point were just like, we're rebooting this universe.
I have not seen Aquaman 2. I saw Aquaman 1. I don't remember a lot what happened because it just reminded me of the Futurama episode with the mermaids.
It was not interesting. It wasn't fun.
Was the episode of Futurama with the mermaids better?
Yes.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, no, I mean, this just goes hand in hand, doesn't it, with Fast and Furious 7? He was clearly
Yes.
shown that he could do action, so why not?
Yeah.
And I think they did. The best part about Aquaman 1 is the trench, which is horror.
Yeah.
And James Wan does that bit so
Yeah.
well. It's the best part of the whole movie. And it's just like, oh, you did that really well. I wish more of this movie was like this. And then it's not. Then
It is funny with Aquaman though, because do you remember the show Entourage?
oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah. They basically did like a Mickey take where James Cameron was going to direct Aquaman because the idea of it sounded so ridiculous. And then they did it 14 years later.
So they pre'd it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The last film on
Yes.
the list
Yes,
that we
yes.
must discuss. A little film that came out in 2021,
This film is so mad.
Malignant.
Malignant. I think it came out in September 2021.
Yes. I saw this during COVID.
Yeah.
Probably my top 3 moments during COVID.
Okay.
It's one of the few films I've watched where the twist in it actually made me open my mouth.
Yeah.
Do we explain the film? Or do we just talk about how we feel about the film?
Let's talk about how we feel about the film, because I genuinely feel like this is a movie that not a lot of people have actually seen, and I think people need to go out and see this. Like, regardless of what happens, they need to find Malignant, they need to watch it. What's the premise, Sam? Let's kick us off. We're doing this like such a ranker now. What's the premise?
Premise? Oh my God. Where do you even begin? A woman who is the victim of domestic abuse
Yeah.
feels like there's something wrong with her, and we slowly discover what is wrong with her through lots of horror cheese,
Yeah.
but glorious horror cheese. Stuff that feels like The Matrix,
Yeah.
mixed with The Fly,
Yeah. Everything.
mixed with Professor Quill from Harry Potter.
That's a fantastic link. I like that one. That's a tenuous link if ever I've heard one.
Yeah, so it's without going into you just have to watch it.
You have to watch
You have to let it unravel itself in front of your eyes.
This is where it gets really interesting, right? Because we mentioned about the whole idea of like horror like changing and becoming like a new thing, and James Wan being kind of massively responsible for it. Where this is even more fascinating is he's kind of done it again here, right? Because horror has evolved, and we are now starting to see horror movies which have that interesting element to it, in that it's not afraid to go completely and utter batshit. Do you know what I mean? Like it's horror's now, like when you see what is happening with things like Barbarian and Weapons and that those types of horror movies where it's like you need to be on board with this, because if you're not, it's probably going to do something you're going to hate.
Yes.
This kind of went, yeah, let's do this. Like this kind of weirdly started it in my mind.
Well, James Wan,
even though Barbarian's 2018. 2018, I think
Barbarian?
Or is it 2023?
No, like 2022, I think.
Okay, yeah, so definitely then it sparked it off.
James Wan, this is the epitome of I don't care anymore. I'm going to do what I like.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
without worrying.
It's like it's not holding an audience's hand.
No.
It's understanding that a twist is a twist, and it's just like, you know what? We are going to Cronenberg this. We're gonna do like 80s, VHS, straight to VHS horror movies.
Well, it's a
but we're going to do it at scale.
It's a passion project because he just wrote this with his wife, I think, just to I am assuming that Aquaman happened. He was in his mid-40s.
Was it
He
something
just
to
thought, I just want to have fun.
Well, I was going to say, wasn't this something? Was this something to do with when his wife was pregnant or something? And it's like the whole hormone imbalance and how you just feel like a different person.
Oh, that's interesting. I don't know about that, but it would make sense.
Don't quote me on it, but I swear that where you mentioned that a minute ago, wrote it with his wife. I was like, oh yeah, that actually.
She's in it.
She's
She's one of the cops, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, this film is. It felt like there was a lot of fun behind it.
Yeah.
And it just felt, it's so goofy.
Oh, it's so goofy, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
If you watch it, you get to the twist, you have to be on board with the twist. Know that something crazy is going to happen. And I think if you accept it, the film just becomes something entirely brilliant.
Yeah. Because it kind of starts like a James Wan film.
Yeah.
And then it just, the twist.
The twist is just phenomenal.
Is just, as I say, it takes a lot for me to. I don't think I gasped, but I opened my mouth in a gasping way.
You and I bonded over *Malignant* in a way I don't think we've ever bonded over any movie. Like that was such a good realization where both of us were like, "This is like one of the best films."
Yeah, we should start a podcast.
Well, that's it. This is the *Malignant*. This is one credit after another, right?
Yeah.
It's our love letter to James Wan and him bringing this podcast.
Can
together.
we actually put that as a one-off, or is that deemed silly?
No, I think we mentioned it enough.
Put one credit after another.
Could that be the title of this episode? This is one credit after another. One credit after another. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do that.
But yeah, no, I think *Malignant* top cinema experience.
Yeah.
That was my feeling. I left the cinema gobsmacked. I don't even know if the film's good, and I don't care.
No, because the twist is so good.
Well, no, it's just the whole film is, and like
it's so much fun.
Like by the end, you're just like, yeah.
It's shot phenomenally well as well. The top down, like that for me was inventive about it. Is that there's shots that he's gone in this movie that he's never done before. But it almost feels like it also inspired other movies. Like the top-down going from room to room scene in *Malignant* was pretty much copied for John Wick 3 or John Wick 4, right? Like it's the same shot almost. You know when he's going around the house with a shotgun and he's going through in the room. It's the same thing that happens in *Malignant* as well. I'm like, wow, this guy's inventive. Like this is what we need. I think he got stuck in his horror franchises and marshalling this Conjuring verse or whatever they've called it. Of horror movie when actually he should have just been let loose, do what he wants, because then we get cool stuff like *Malignant*.
Well, he's directed one film since, and that was Aquaman 2, so
we can ignore that.
Right, reflections and questions on James Wan's film career.
Mr. Wan.
Empire Review.
Okay.
Best and worst.
Okay. Right. I actually don't know this. I've not even seen the notes on it either. I think that Conjuring is the most accomplished of his work, but I also think weirdly Fast and Furious 7 is stupidly high up.
Just to clarify, this is only films that he's directed.
Yes, yeah.
Because again, we can't do producing because we'll be all
day.
Right, here we go. So Saw has got 4 stars.
Okay,
The
this
Conjuring,
is from Empire, right?
Empire Reviews.
Yeah.
The Conjuring 1, 4 stars.
4 stars.
And Furious 7, 4 stars.
Okay,
and they are his top.
Oh, nice. So I got 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No 5 stars yet. What the fuck were they thinking with *Malignant*?
I know, right?
What's the worst reviewed Empire film?
Oh, that's a good one. *Something Like Dead Silence*.
Dead Silence.
1
star.
1 star.
1 star.
Wow. Okay.
It is basically it's got the holy trinity. It's got a very poor rating on Empire, terrible Rotten Tomato score, made no money.
Oh wow. Okay.
Which we'll go into.
That's
in a bit.
really weird. Then, so 1 must have literally been in the middle of the Conjuring universe at that point. Otherwise, that's 2 stinkers, right? One after the bat, Dead Silence and Dead.
That could have killed his career.
Yeah.
But he was a genius. He just basically was like, we'll just do 2 massive franchises that will make billions.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Career trends. I think we've kind of discussed it with jump scares and jump scares that sell well in modern horror, but are they necessarily good for horror?
No.
It is.
I think they're coming to the end. I think in some respects, Megan 2, I think is proving that type of jump scare is not really a thing anymore.
Megan 2.0,
which is really annoying though, because Megan 2.0 had a really interesting premise about it.
It did. They terminated it.
They terminated it, exactly.
It's a big one. Does the filmmaker's career live up to Guy Ritchie's?
I think he's done more for horror than Guy Ritchie has done for cinema.
Wow. Has he made a film as good as Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels? I would say no. And that's not even Guy Ritchie's best film.
You're going really niche, right? You can say that James Wan has done something for horror, full stop. That's a genre thing. Whereas I think Guy Ritchie did a lot for British gangster movies in the 90s. Full stop. And it's like they're very niche. It's not like just saying like crime movies or something like that, because you can't ignore what Scorsese did in those genres, right? Whereas James Wan is actually the name of horror at the moment, apart from Blumhouse. He kind of ushered in a whole new type of horror at a time. He did to horror what Marvel was doing to superhero movies.
Well, The Conjuring is kind of credited as like the best cinematic universe when Marvel was in its prime.
Really?
Yeah, it was like when people like used the example of a MCU.
Yeah.
Like, who else has done a good job with this? Because obviously DC did a terrible job. A lot of people cited The Conjuring.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously because they also had the Annabelle films.
Annabelle 1's terrible. Annabelle 2 is awesome.
Okay.
The
Nun?
Annabelle 3 is okay. Nun 1... Well, this is the thing. As soon as you start going into the Nun territory, you then really are in just jump scare territory. There's a really scary image with jump scares, and therefore that must equal movie. Nun 1's not that great. Nun 2 is supposed to be a bit better. I never saw the Nun 2. But that's kind of grinding to a halt. You had Last Rites was last year. I don't think that did too well. That's part of the Conjuring franchise. Yeah. And before that, you had The Devil Made Me Do It, which came out during COVID, which didn't get a lot of traction either. So, I don't know. They wanted to do a lot of the stuff with like all the spin-offs. So there was like that Tall Man thing that was in Conjuring 2. They wanted to make like a horror one of that and, you know, all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of feels like that the Blumhouse bought, I think, James Wan's production company. And then ever since then, the whole Conjuring verse has kind of gone its own way.
Yeah.
I forget why I've gone off on this tangent, but he's just done so much for horror that Guy Ritchie has not managed to do for other genres.
I will give you James Wan.
Okay.
Most collaborated person. This was actually a very fun one to do because
really
it was kind of like tennis between him and Lee Whannell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Patrick Wilson and Lee Whannell.
Yeah.
It was kind of like credit here,
done
credit
more
there.
Stuff? Has he done more stuff for Patrick Wilson?
He has. He's done about 10 films with him in the end.
Wow, I suppose he's done the 2 Aquaman movies as
basically, anything that James Wan has directed and heavily produced, not like executive produced, Patrick Wilson has played a part.
Wow, okay.
So it's like 16 years.
I'm a big fan of Patrick Wilson as well. I like Patrick Wilson.
I like Stretch.
Like, not The Reader. Was it not The Reader? The other one that was
He's very good in Bone Tomahawk.
He is very good in it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, he is.
But yeah, Patrick Wilson, I believe, has worked with James Wan.
No, pretty little children. Little Children, that's the one I'm talking about. Have you seen that with Kate Winslet? Wow, you have to see that.
I'll watch it tonight.
It's a really, really good movie. Really good.
Yeah, I believe he's worked with Patrick Wilson about 10 times. Lee Whannell like 8 or 9.
Okay.
Yeah, they've collaborated less since Insidious 1.
Yeah,
But they've still done bits. They've produced bits and
bobs.
They've
done a lot. Yeah.
Biggest box office success and flop according to IMDb.
Without a doubt, it's going to be Fast and the Furious. 1 point something billion for one movie. I know the Conjuring universe has made 3, but you know.
Furious 7, 1.5 billion.
Yeah.
That is kind of nuts.
Insane.
I mean, Fast and Furious still makes good money.
Yeah, diminishing
Furious
returns
10
now, but
still made like 400 million?
Oh, I wouldn't surprise if it made more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is like an 800 million kind of franchise. It's got huge tracks in all the regions.
Yeah.
So it does well. It's just one of those franchises that does well.
Lowest grossing film.
Dead Silence.
Death Sentence.
Death Sentence?
Yeah.
What, made less than Dead Silence? Wow.
It made 17 million.
Oh, okay.
But overall, he has got to have one of the most profitable careers ever in terms of budget to box office.
Yeah.
Because Saw, that cost 1 million.
A million.
100 million it made.
Yeah.
And then you've got to think of all the films that he has produced
Yep.
that have made a lot of money, most of them being horror.
Yeah.
It's mightily impressive. Could the director have done a better job with Batman and Robin than Joel Schumacher?
No. Because we've seen this from Aquaman.
But think of Malignant and then put that in Batman and Robin. The cheese. It works.
Actually, that would have been a really good Poison Ivy. You imagine Uma Thurman.
Oh, my God.
That would have been
Like,
epic.
he'll get Professor Quill in there somewhere.
Is it Quirrell? Not Quill. Peter Quill.
Oh.
Is it Quirrell?
I think it's
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Squirrel? Mirrell? Helen Mirrell? How have we got there?
What was the question?
I can't remember anymore.
No, Joel Schumacher, he wouldn't have had bat nipples.
No. Or a back credit card.
Yeah. And then
And there would have been some sort of weird trench.
Arnold Schwarzenegger would have just had to keep saying, I want to play a game.
Well, that would have been good fun.
And then, then it just gets silly.
Or Alfred. Like, he's like the hidden... he's the hidden kind of anti-hero of the whole thing. So what it is like Batman goes off, does his thing, handcuffs them, and then that's it. And then Alfred walks in.
Jigsaw would
Would you like to play a game?
Jigsaw.
You stand there with ice. You say one thing, you do another. Ice to meet you.
Jigsaw. Oh, God, that's terrifying. Jigsaw would be a very good Batman villain. You could call him the Joker. What other fields could they work in? So I have a question.
Producer, right?
Will they? He's done that 400 times. Will they make Saw 1 into a play? Be awesome as a play.
Okay. Well, a bit like Woman in Black and stuff like that, where it's like it's a bit interactory.
Oh, could be. Well, I'm just thinking of because obviously Saw 1 predominantly takes place in that locker room?
Basement.
Yeah. I'm thinking locker room because of Scary Movie 4 with Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille, I'm not angry with you, but we are
You're
1
the only
minute
person
away
that
from
likes
death.
Scary Movie 4.
You're
unbelievable. It's unbelievable how much you like these movies. I don't understand it.
Dr. Phil is a good actor in that. Yeah, the entire film kind of takes place in that situation, and then you could kind of have like the flashbacks and
yeah, you can have some really interesting like there's
Danny
really
Glover
interesting
stuff.
Yeah, and there's a really interesting imagery to each of the traps that would look quite cool
Yeah.
on a stage.
I think James Wan, he's nearly 50. Go down the Tarantino route and put Saw on Broadway.
Well, I mean, technically, I think he wrote the treatment for the Saw video game, so he's already kind of done Saw in different like kind of mediums.
Okay, interesting. I quite like this one. Unlikely collaborations. I've gone with Amber Heard.
He's kind of already done that though.
That's what I mean. No more future collaborations.
Oh, okay.
Because no one will collaborate with her again.
Yeah, that's true. I would say Emily Blunt.
Why?
Mary Poppins.
What's that got to do with... Did James Wan produce that? He probably did.
He probably did. He produced everything. I'm pretty certain he's produced The Devil Wears Prada too, which then is probably why.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Unlikely collaborators. Is he going to be, say, for instance, co-producing something with Spielberg? Could you see that being an unlikely collaboration?
No. Can't see that.
Okay.
Working with Disney?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one.
Well, hang on, let me double...
He's worked with DC, so in theory...
Warner Brothers, Malignant, cost the studio about $40 million.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it cost $40 million and made $34 million. But again, it was COVID, so,
Yeah, true.
you know.
I bet they got good traction on home video.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well,
on streaming
I
and stuff.
bought it on every streaming service.
Yeah.
Using AI. De-aging Tobin Bell to play Jigsaw forever.
Okay. Well, I mean, Saw 10. Like, they did kind of bring him back.
Yeah, I know, but Tobin Bell, he was in Stargate.
I wonder if they'll use his voice. They might use Tobin Bell's voice, and he might just say, right, I'm going to live... My family's going to have generational wealth because I've sold my voice to AI.
It is always
It's
fascinating.
like James L. Jones, right?
He played the leader of the Tolan in the first season of Stargate SG-1.
Of course, because all roads come back to to Stargate.
But his voice and his like persona is very similar.
Well, I mean, he's a villain in season of 24.
Yes,
He's in so much stuff
Is he
before
most
that
like-
point.
He's such a fantastically underrated
Yeah,
character actor.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
For him to then come to Saw is like Anthony Hopkins going to do like Silence of the Lambs or something like that, right?
That is a very good comparison.
Like, you know, it's just that type of thing where it's like, well,
Or Annabelle
these
Wallis going to Malignant.
yeah,
Could they make a film set in Tahiti or Yemen? I've gone with Jigsaw torturing those less fortunate there.
that's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah?
It works. You could just pretty much go anywhere. He's a globetrotter.
Yeah.
He's, what are you going to do? I'm in Iceland. What are you going to do?
Would
you like to play a game?
Tobin Bell wanted to... He was on a beach in Tahiti thinking, right,
I need this cocktail. My bank account is
I'm very poorly, and then someone spilt his drink, and he was just like, screw this. I'm getting jiggy out my suitcase.
Where
Right.
he just makes them out of like palm trees. You just got this like weird DIY jigsaw, just like tropical jigsaw. Like
They could do a really good... I'll tell you what, they could do a really good prequel of Saw called Castaway, where Tobin Bell's stuck on an island and he builds Jigsaw out of like a pineapple.
oh, they just and every so often they'll just do like a montage scene where just like like palm tree jigsaw, like or palm tree. I can't remember his name. He's like Sid the puppet or something like that, giving high fives to Tobin Bell on the beach. Yeah, well done. You've created a boat. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, that's just.
Right, final discussion on The Mummy. James
Yes.
Wan's produced with Lee
God, we
Cronin
have
directing.
not spoken about this at all. This is such a tentative link to get us views or listens. Like,
No, we
it's
discussed
out.
it. We discussed it greatly earlier.
did we?
What are your expectations for The Mummy?
I'm intrigued by it. I think it's got an interesting premise. I think they're doing a very interesting job at making it different to Tom Cruise's The Mummy. And I hate to say it, but with the new Mummy movie coming out as well, they've had to title it Lee Cronin's Mummy because otherwise it's not going to get any traction. I mean, I think there's also still rumours that the Blumhouse movies are still doing a Mummy.
Well, I think it's Lee Cronin to deliberately get away from Tom Cruise's Mummy.
Oh, okay.
More importantly,
Yeah.
because I think.
Or more importantly, Alex Kurtzman's The Mummy.
Well, that film is nearly 10 years old, but the memed history of it is still quite popular.
Yeah.
Obviously, also it's got Tom Cruise in it.
Absolutely kill a movie franchise in its first film.
Yes. I don't have high hopes for it because of its name.
Okay.
I think it could be very well reviewed. Lee Cronin's got a pretty good track record,
Yeah.
but it's not going to make
Looks a
any
bit
money.
creepy.
It's not going to make any money.
Do you think horror's doing well at the moment?
It always is.
It's not always doing well. There's
is.
always an ebb and flow to it, but there's always a couple of interesting moves that come out of it. I still think horror at the moment is in Dread. I think it exists better in Dread, and I think that's why.
Oh, right. I was going to say, was that a pun?
What on the franchise?
It's in Dread.
It's in Dread. No, I think horror at the moment, interesting horror is in it building dread, and I think the jump scares not so much a thing at the moment. I just worry.
I would say horror. The jump scare aspect of horror is on the way out, but
Yeah.
horror will be fine.
Yeah. I think Ari Aster and what's
Robert
his name?
Eggers.
Robert Eggers, they came in just at the right time.
Well, Robert Eggers has got a werewolf film coming out at the end of the year,
Oh, nice.
and it's got Willem Dafoe in it,
Oh, nice.
so it's like
okay.
it'll be fine. Yeah, our feeling towards the Mummy. I think it could be good.
Could be good, could be bad. I literally I nothing this movie. If I'm being completely honest, I'm more excited for the Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
Reboot.
Well, I don't really know how they're going to get Brendan Fraser to be like battle ready.
No.
He's nearly 60. He won't be the center of the film. I think it's kind of like a bait and switch. I think.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
We're gonna kill him.
The
Kill him
cast, director, and crew involved in The Mummy is obviously Lee Cronin. We've mentioned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The cast is fairly unknown. This is probably the first one credit after another where there's been almost no real deep talk about the actual cast.
Oh yeah, I mean we're absolutely we saw this and we were trying to come up with the title of this next episode and who we were actually going to do a one credit after. And it wasn't until we dove into the depths of the producer credits for this movie that we could actually find someone who we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's got Jack Rayner in it.
Yeah.
Oh, you spoke about Midsummer earlier on. So Jack Rayner is no stranger to horror movies. But yeah, everyone else, yeah.
Not great, is it? That's the
I'll
other
be really
thing.
interested to see. I mean, they're obviously not selling it on Jack Rayner alone, right? Florence Pugh sold Midsummer. As much as I like Jack Rayner, he's not going to be the person who sells it. Which also why I think it's called Lee Cronin's Mummy.
I don't think Florence Pugh was very well known at that point.
For Midsummer?
Yeah.
By that point
I
she'd
think
done
Ari
things
Aster.
like Lady Macbeth, and I think she'd done that wrestling movie.
Yeah, it was kind of a establishing year, I think,
Yeah.
that came out.
Yeah.
We are on to... It's another Warner Brothers film. We do seem to talk about Warner Brothers films a lot.
Yeah. So it'll be on HBO Max soon.
Absolutely. Was that a plug
Yeah, why not?
for HBO Max?
Yeah. Please sponsor us.
And finally, predicting the box office return.
Where are we?
It won't
Where are we?
break
April?
50 million. It won't break 50 million.
I'd be surprised. But then there's not a lot of horror out either side of it. So this could be the first. April's an interesting month. Because April is like literally what we're stone's throw away from blockbusters starting to happen.
Yeah,
So-
Mandalorian's round the corner.
And we've just had Mario last week, which was kind of the end of the Easter holidays. So it's a good bit of counter programming. Like, I don't think it's the worst time for this to release. You know, Halloween is kind of arguably one of the worst times to release a horror movie now because it's so saturated. So to have something interesting in April, not bad. We're out the graveyard of January, February. So it could be... I think it might surprise you.
Okay. We shall see. Right, that is the end of the James one credit after another. We want to hear your opinions on the career of James Wan. What would you rank as his career highlights? Where do you think he will go next? Will he somehow create another Saw epic? Would you like him to return to Saw? Would that be a big thing for you?
I think he's done it, right? He's produced every single one of them. He's made his money off of it. I thought it was interesting that Tobin Bell came back for Saw 10. Whether or not we see... I think if anyone comes back to it, it will be James Wan and Lee Whannell again, and it will be establishing more of
That'd be nice.
John Kramer.
Okay.
We got to the end of this episode and we finally found his name.
Oh, John Kramer.
I bet his name's not John Kramer now.
Yes, again, thank you for listening. We are also on Instagram, so please follow if you can. Thank you for listening, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.